Welcome back. It's been so long since we filmed a video. It's
Time.
it's been, I feel like, at least 2 years since we uploaded on this channel.
We had church. We had church. We had church in a while, but we're back. The
This
deacon
is
is here. Welcome to church. Hallelujah.
We're gonna burn in hell. Be far from a deacon. Anyway, so let's just get right. We want to get right into it. Obviously,
I am Pastor Troy. This is my deaconess, Miss Urethra.
no. Anyways, I'm Naja, and this is Deontay, and we're back. Are we gonna change our channel name? It might stay. I don't know.
Be honest.
I don't know. We might change it. Okay, so
We might be calling ourselves something else in the next 2 episodes.
probably. But we're gonna get right into it because we don't want to make this video super duper long. We want to get y'all all caught up on all the mess and stuff that has been going on in the world. Stuff that we have been talking about amongst each other and trying our best not to talk to each other about because we want to kind of save it for the video. First thing is...
Who's on the sick and shut-in list?
DaniLeigh.
Yeah, she needs to stay shut in.
Yeah, she really does. So
She needs to stay shut in.
she received a lot of backlash because she played like a little snippet of her song called Yellow. And the fans, hold on. People.
Have you heard the song?
Well, I heard like
I haven't heard the song.
I heard like a little bit of it.
I just seen people ripping it.
Yeah, and it is a bad song, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, who cares about what she's talking about? The song itself is terrible." But I'm like, yeah, but I was also thrown off by the fact that the song was like titled Yellow Bone. It's kind of like read the room. Like, why would you make something like that?
Is she yellow bone?
But see, that's the thing that people were saying. People were like, well, she can't necessarily be considered yellow bone because she's not black.
Is she,
So
I'm assuming she's a Caucasian woman.
she's Hispanic.
Oh.
So that's what really, apparently, like, I think maybe she shared her ancestry, like, at one point in time. So somebody pulled that up on, I think on Instagram and was like, yeah, shorty, like, you're clearly full-on white and Hispanic. Like,
Yeah,
you shouldn't call yourself yellow bone. So it was a whole big thing with that.
She's probably more Karen than Keisha.
Yeah. And then she kind of doubled down when she went to apologize, which I didn't really like. It's like... She was just kind of like, oh, like, I'm not a colorist. Like, I have a chocolate man. I have black friends.
Oh, she even played the white woman card.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, no, don't do that. Don't say that. That's wrong. So I don't think she realized.
In typical white woman fashion.
Yeah, but she's young, too,
you
so.
trying so hard to be black, and you showing how you white, Karen.
Yeah, so.
You call her Danny K.
Oh, gosh.
Danny Karen.
So, yeah. So, the next thing on the list is the Chad Wheeler, the dude from the Seattle Seahawks. Did you hear about that? The domestic violence stuff.
Yeah, it was hard not to. There's a lot of talk about that on social media.
Yeah.
Go ahead, and I'm going to let you go ahead.
Well, he was arrested on suspicion of domestic violence. His girlfriend, apparently he allegedly, like, choked her unconscious.
Allegedly.
And, yeah, then when she gained consciousness, he was like, oh, wow, you're still alive.
I did hear that part.
And then he just continued eating. I think they said when she was unconscious, like, he was just, like, sitting there drinking his smoothie, eating or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the main thing about this story is it's a white dude and a black woman. So, everything that's going on these days. And we have a need to protect our black women. And a lot of times they don't feel protected. So, and it's a lot of people that, they're looking at it this way, even though I feel like it's the wrong take and the wrong way to kind of look at things. But, it's a lot of people looking at it like, well, if he was black, this shit would have been all over ESPN, all over all the sports networks, TMZ. And for one, that's true, but a lot of it, I can't say, comes from the fact that a lot of these black dudes is higher profile dudes, like higher name. You're gonna put, if it's two domestic violence cases, unfortunately, they're not going to give Chad Wheeler as much attention as they would in Antonio Brown or who's been in the news recently.
That's
Just
true.
anybody. I mean, Tiger Woods had a stable of white women, and I heard about it for years.
They still hear about it. Every chance they get, they talk about it.
Weird because
I'm not saying the cheating isn't bad, because it's bad, but this should have been front and center. And I only heard about this because of the Shade Room, and I was like, why is this not something that's like really talked about? Like when I seen the pictures of her face, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's just it was horrible. And they let him go.
Yeah, I mean,
the Seahawks did.
But I think that's the other thing weird too. From what I was seeing, it was coming across as if he was already cut. Like it was one of the things, like,
okay.
He was already bad. Like, so you're not even on a team, or as is.
So it's like,
but yeah. I do feel the need because it's just a lot, man. Just domestic violence in general, bro. Like, to feel the need to put your hands on a woman, bro. Always.
But he said he had like a manic episode or something. Like I don't know how true that is. I'm like, we don't need that, sis. We don't need that from you. We're not trying to hear it. Like, as people say, hey, go to hell nicely. Like, I'm not trying to hear it. I don't feel bad for you. Like,
No, I don't feel bad for him at all.
Like,
I don't feel bad for any dude.
Look at how you did that, girl.
Especially when it's a white man putting their hands on a black woman, because it's.
Even if it was the other way around.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Either way, but I feel like it's more when it's a white male.
Yeah.
In a sense, because at the same time, it's like it's giving off racist vibes. Like she's supposed to be your slave almost. It's kind of how.
Oh yeah, because allegedly she told him he told her to bow to him or something.
Exactly.
And she wouldn't.
Exactly.
I don't know. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was about to be shady too. I made a
Don't do that.
Anyways,
let's move on. Let's move on. So
what was I about to be shady about?
So Apple launched a limited edition this Black Unity like Apple Watch, I think it is, and people had an issue with that because a portion of the proceeds will be going towards civil rights organizations, and people are like, why is only like a portion going to, you know what I'm saying, these organizations? Like, why is it that y'all use us whenever you get a chance to? Like, any big corporation, any big quote-unquote white corporation, and it's like, oh, we'll give y'all a portion. And it's like, just don't make anything for us, because this is not technically for us. It's not going to probably where we want it to go to. You're not giving all the proceeds. Like, Apple has so much money that it's just ridiculous. Like, why even? And then the watch is just kind of like, I don't know.
It's just.
It was just one of those one-off things.
It's like
unnecessary.
A green and a red strap. There's really nothing sexy about it anyway. So even if they promoted it like a regular watch, it's nothing about. But my main question is, because to your point, I feel like pretty much everybody has benefited company-wise off of everything that's been going on, because everybody's kind of pushed towards saying that there's, as far as social justice and wanting to stand together, but a lot of it has been through product. So it's like, we haven't really seen some of you give money to anybody or put any effort into, helping what's actually going on right now. There's been a lot of product being placed out. And when you say we only giving a portion of it, what do you mean by a portion? Because a portion could be 0.5%. And, I get, what I'm saying? I'm assuming they're going to get some of this money, but it's like,
It's unnecessary. I already know where this is going.
It's like
don't make it worse. But then make it worse, because then we'll just stop.
Every time I hear stuff like that, I think about what's the cancer corporation called? Susan G. Komen.
Oh, like we're not even about to go in.
I think about them and how they were raising like 500 million, or I don't know if it was that much, but it will be at least like 10, 20 million or so a year. I feel like in donations and different ways they come up with money, and then they only donate like maybe 1% of that max. Yeah. Everything else goes to like the CEO. Like I learned a lot about nonprofits. You guys don't know anything about nonprofits. Definitely not. Most of these nonprofits aren't really using the money on the stuff that they're raising it for, which I didn't know you could fucking do. Yeah. Like, I thought when you're a non-profit organization, the whole point was to get money for whatever my cause is. If my cause is cancer research and things of that nature, you'd assume most of my money. Now I get you needing to make a salary and to feed yourself and whoever else works for y'all. Okay, fine, that's cool. But if you telling me, hey, we raised $10 million this year in funds and donations, and only $100,000 of that went to whatever it was supposed to go to, that's kind of scammy to me. So I don't know.
Yeah. But next thing.
What's next on the church
Deontay, he definitely talks like a deacon. He's like an old man. He just keep going and going and going. Okay, so the next thing is, did you know that JoJo Siwa is a part of the LGBTQ plus community?
I'm going to be honest.
I just found this out. I said, not JoJo.
I have no idea who this is.
The girl with the high ponytail that all the kids like. The white girl with the high ponytail.
The new Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, basically her.
I don't know anything about this.
She, first of all,
kids love her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know who
people with kids,
JoJo Siwa is. And recently she came out with the fact that she was, part of that community. And obviously I don't have an issue with it. I feel like good for her. I know it's probably difficult for her to come out and say something about this because people that are typically brought up like child stars, it's like, it's kind of hard to have your own, like, I guess, I don't know,
identity.
Identity based. Thank you. So it's like, I'm pretty sure she probably, I don't know. I can't say.
Be robots.
That too. So I don't know. I'm curious what a lot of the Karens think about that because she was highly supported by the whites.
I'm pretty sure JoJo is in a lot of houses of like Republicans.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm curious if a lot of them are like, oh no, you can't listen to JoJo. You can't watch JoJo anymore. I'm really curious like how this is going to go over. But more power to her for, coming into her own and saying like, all right, like, yeah, I understand like people look up to me and all of this stuff, but I'm still a human being at the end of the day and this is what y'all going to get.
She must be planning on leaving. This Disney or Nickelodeon?
I believe it's Nickelodeon.
Whichever one she has.
I don't know. Either way.
I'm assuming
she got a lot of money. JoJo will be just fine.
I'm assuming she's planning on leaving soon. When people do stuff like this, it's usually after the money has came in.
I don't know.
It's like we're on our way out. People don't really do this when I still got checks to collect.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. JoJo what's her name?
Siwa.
JoJo about to come out with her own album called JoJo, and it ain't gonna be talking about none of that shit.
She'll be just fine. That little girl has money.
Yeah, she gonna be fine when she make this R&B album.
So the next thing is Cicely Tyson passed away, and Deontay told me about this the other night. This is late at night, and I ain't gonna lie, there was like a little slither of me that when you said it, I almost wanted to be like, why did you tell me that? Because it's just been so many deaths and stuff. And, like, I'm one of those people that, as of, lately, I hold stuff, even when it doesn't have anything to do with me. So I'm like, I don't need to hear this so late at night. And it's like so many people have been passing. But she was 96, I believe. So,
she's seen it all.
Yeah. So
almost a whole damn.
God
century.
willing, I can live to be 96.
Yeah,
man.
But it wasn't like an uncomfortable 96 though.
Cicely was moving.
She was out here.
Sis was making all the moves. Like she was doing real well for herself.
Yeah, she wasn't just out there.
Really well.
Shut in. She was out here making moves.
And I think
moves.
she was still working up until this point. I believe when I was listening to the Breakfast Club, they said that she was actually supposed to get interviewed. I think this following week or so. So she still had a lot of things booked up. So rest in peace to her because
for sure, man.
That was a lot. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I was shocked to hear. I was like, Cicely gonna live forever. That's just somebody I never thought to be like, oh, she's gonna pass. Like,
yeah, we lost.
I don't know. Yeah,
we lost a legend, man.
All right, so do you want to introduce this next stuff that you have?
I mean, it's
because I don't know nothing about.
It's the last thing. I don't know as much as you. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Too much more than you.
Let's talk about this one first.
No, we can do that last because I don't really have anything to go with that.
Okay.
This is kind of the meat and potatoes left for the church service. Oh, so before I start preaching, Tyson and T.I.
Oh boy.
It's just a lot with this, man. I'm still kind of wrapping my head around it, but long story short, apparently, Sabrina Peterson accuses T.I. and Tiny that they not only pressured her into taking drugs, taking off their clothes, and having sex with them.
Allegedly.
But allegedly, T.I. also put a gun to her head. Now, let me see here. She says T.I. put the gun to her head in front of kids. I'm not sure who kids these are. It was T.I.'s kids. These were her kids. But Miss Peterson, the accuser, posted screenshots on her Instagram story, and this is all happening within like the past day or so. So I guess 48 hours. So honestly, you may still be able to see some of this stuff on her Instagram. But she posted a lot of direct messages from allegedly 24 victims, basically saying the same thing, that they pressured them into taking drugs and then having sex with them, coercing, if you want to say. The Harris's, T.I. and Tiny, Tamika, issued a statement, obviously denying the allegations that they were true. And they wanted to emphatically, let me read this. The statement says that Mr. and Mrs. Harris wanted to be on record stating that, more importantly, they want the public to know they emphatically deny, in the strongest way possible, like it literally says this. This is probably T.I. T.I. wrote this shit, bro. It's a lot of big words. They want the public to emphatically know, bro, what's up with this? You're going to be weak. Emphatically deny, in the strongest way possible, the egregiously appalling allegations being made against them by Miss Peterson. T.I. wrote that, bro.
He had to.
T.I. wrote that, bro. He's the only person that likes to put a lot of big words together behind each other like that. And it also went on to say they've been having difficulty with this woman for over 10 years, and they plan on suing her ass.
I don't really know enough to really comment on it. All I can say is that, I mean, in this day and age, so much, you almost kind of want to believe the victim. You know, how do I put this? It's like I don't want to say that anybody's lying and like who's telling the truth or really take any sides, because obviously these are serious allegations and it's something that should be taken serious and not something that should just be like, oh, like just because maybe they had issues with her in the past, like, oh, let's just not believe anything that she's saying. So I'm more prone to, yes, believe the woman in the situation, but I also know that, you know, sometimes things like this can turn up to not be true. I'm just hoping that whatever the truth is, that it comes out and it gets resolved legally and peacefully, and, you know, whatever needs to be done in the court of law is what needs to get done.
Because apparently Miss Peterson, the accuser, has her own issues and charges that she's dealing with as well.
But see, I don't like stuff like that. Like when someone's coming at you And it's almost to kind of like devalue what that person is saying. Kind of like, so we did this to you, but yet you're a felon. It's like, what does that have to do with?
It depends on what are you doing? So if in this case, I believe she's supposed to be like trying to fight people with a knife or doing something crazy like that. I have to go back and double check, allegedly. But it's something of that nature. Kind of, it makes you say, this type of person I can see kind of doing this thing.
Yeah.
I think the most significant thing that comes out of this is the issue is what's going on in their bedroom, honestly, which is something that you probably want to keep private with you and your wife, that y'all having extra people coming
and that's
in your bedroom.
But that's a conversation that needs to be had, and let this be a lesson learned. And it's not like pertaining to them, but in that subject, like what you was just talking about. Like, I think people need to think about stuff like that. If you're going to be doing things like that, you got to do it with the right type of people. I'm not into stuff like that, but it's like I have heard people talk about stuff like that before and say stuff like, hey, like, there's rules and there's just like things that are set up and in place to make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen. Nobody's harmed, nobody feels used, nobody doesn't know like what's going on. Like, they want to make sure that everybody kind of understands what's this about. Like, nobody is confused, nobody is in a under the influence of something where they really aren't coherent or whatever. So I don't know.
My thing is this.
That's tough.
Apparently, it's supposed to be all of these other alleged victims. That's the main part. You got other people popping up and saying,
yeah, that's what's tricky.
Like, hey, this happened to me. You know, they made me do this and this, or they, whatever the case may be. It's 20 other people saying that something happened to them, and then on top of that, boy, T.I. been quiet. You know, T.I. ain't never been this quiet over some hot topics.
Oh, he be with the shit.
He never been quiet about a hot topic.
Oh, you know, he got something. He got something for something.
And he been quiet as hell. So
he wrote the book, something for something.
Trouble man, wild
his
as the
face.
Taliban.
Like he
so
yeah.
That's one thing I can say. T.I. been quiet as hell. You know, he don't miss a hot topic.
Oh no,
he love hot tops.
Oh, he loves to see. Like
so, but I haven't seen you drinking water. What's going on with dog?
Yeah, I don't want none of that. I don't blame him though. When you work for a good amount of money legally, you like, let's just go this route. Cool. Let's just go this route.
The thing about that is, if he's thinking that, he probably wouldn't comment on the plethora of things.
So the fact that he hasn't said anything, I don't know.
That's kind of telling.
We'll have to wait and see how everything pan out. Because it is unfortunate. Either way, even if this is true or not, whatever, either way it's unfortunate because it still kind of puts like a damper on everybody's lives that are involved, because now it's like, regardless of what this becomes, this is going to follow you throughout life.
Exactly.
So that's the part that sucks.
I can only imagine what their kids thinking. My YouTube crowd, you guys comment down below. Like and subscribe, but comment down below and let us know what you guys thinking about some of this. It's the stuff that we've kind of missed out on these topics and this T.I. and Tiny stuff, bro. Because there's just too much going on. Obviously, I don't know everything. It's all happening live. Yeah. So if y'all find out some more stuff that we missed, definitely tell us.
Please, please,
comments,
yes.
But anything else you got on the church bulletin?
No, I think that's it. We can close the sermon out.
I seen O.J. Simpson.
Oh gosh.
Got COVID-19 vaccine.
Why is O.J. on Instagram?
O.J. is on social media telling everybody to go get this vaccine. I mean, I don't know if you or anybody else had O.J. getting stabbed by a white woman in 2021 on that bingo list. But you can mark that one off.
I'm not.
You can definitely mark that one off. I ain't afraid of O.J., man. I got the complexion for the connection. He is not looking for me.
Hey, stop, chill. All right.
And a woman.
Okay, y'all. And with that said, we are going to end this video.
Like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube people.
To our YouTube people.
Oh, my fault.
Yes.
Our YouTube.
Yes, people. Our YouTube. And we'll see y'all in our next video. Peace. Bye, guys.